you need a coach, you need a mentor, like you need a guide. I don't care if it's free or paid, but you need it. That's how you're going to get the information. Change your environment as fast as possible. Their environment is going to be what crafts you. And that's not just your digital environment. That's also your physical environment. What does it cost you not to do it? Because if I didn't do that $100 coaching call in the beginning, it would have cost me everything I have today.
Welcome to the Bad Marketing Podcast. On today's episode, I have one of the biggest guys on the organic social media game when it comes to teaching e-commerce online. That is Mr. Justin Phillips here out of Atlanta, Georgia. This guy is absolutely exploding when it comes to TikTok and organic reels on Instagram. And he's teaching people how to basically start a business online and start selling things on e-commerce. He has a huge e-commerce background. I even learned a lot about him and the experience that he has in that space and how he went from actually selling products online to being inspired to teach other people to sell products online. And not only is he incredible at that, but he's absolutely hacked the organic game, getting millions of views on every single video that he posts and organically actually growing it without buying followers and things like that. And it's really incredible to watch this whole thing. There is so much game in this episode, whether it's e-commerce or whether it's organic content or whether it's selling an info product online. And this is definitely one of those denser pieces of content where you're going to want to take a lot of notes. There's going to be a lot of substantial information that you're going to want to take away and implement in your business that can make you an ROI day one. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Justin Phillips, my man, thank you for jumping on the show. I appreciate you coming out. I didn't know you. Do you live in Atlanta?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, about 30 minutes from here.
Okay, dope. That's cool. Small world, man. There's a lot of online entrepreneurs, a lot of clothing brands actually in Atlanta too, ironically. And like slowly I'm starting to like connect with more of them because I'm more like, I travel for my connections. I don't usually have that network in Atlanta, but slowly I'm starting to see that kind of come up. So
many people out here, bro. Like it feels like almost everyone's out here.
It's crazy, actually. Yeah. Atlanta's definitely becoming a hub, and excited to see it keep growing. Tell me about yourself, dude. Give me a quick like summary of like what you currently do, and then we'll kind of jump back to how it all started if you want, and we can kind of just take it from there.
Sure. So real simple elevator pitch. Started a brand in college called Support Black Colleges in 2012. We didn't take it seriously till about 2018. Took it from an idea in a dorm room in 2018 to a little under 10 million in sales in like 3-4 years. Then I'm currently exiting that, which would happen in the last year. And then now moving into teaching people how to get into the e-commerce space in general and just having a ton of fun with it, bro. So
dope. So what college did you go to when you started this brand?
I went to Howard University over in the East Coast in DC.
Okay, cool. Howard University.
Yeah, Howard University.
Is it a big school?
Yes, it's
really?
it's like a private school, like private university, but it's like one of the biggest HBCUs.
Sick.
Yeah,
and then
HBCUs, historically Black College University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Historically Black College University.
Yeah.
HBCU. So when you were talking about like you guys did a lot of work with HBCUs from your clothing brand, that's kind of where that stems from.
Pretty much like we saw like Barnes and Noble owned all of the HBCU bookstores pretty much, and they sell all of the merchandise for the schools in there. But it was like kind of, it didn't look like someone that had style and fashion made it. So we were like, there's a market there for us to make fashionable stuff for the people that are going to school. And then we kind of just, stepped in that lane.
So how did that start?
That was
at the time here. Let me say something real quick. At the time, there wasn't many like resources of like people starting clothing brands or e-commerce, learning courses or platforms or shit like that, right? So like, how did this even start with you guys?
It was really started because I went to the school, and I'm the first person in my family to go to college at all. So when I got there, it was interesting because like at HBCUs, it's what you can almost imagine. It's like you go into the cafeteria on Fridays, it's fried chicken Fridays. They having like a DJ in the cafeteria, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy, but like this feels where I need to be. And just seeing a bunch of like Black excellence around and people of color in general. And I was like, why did I not know about this? Like, I didn't know what a fraternity, sorority, none of this stuff was at all. And then I was like, people need to know about this. So we just liked fashion. So we were like, let's just tell people about what we do or what we're in, and let's just do it through fashion. And we just decided like we're gonna, make a clothing brand. But in the beginning, I actually wasn't a part of it. So they started in 2012. I didn't come in until 2018 actually. So I was just a friend of the founder. His name's Corey. And I was like, yo, if I can help you with the photo shoot, if I can help you whatever, I'm down. And then 2012 to 2018 went around. He just called me one day. I was like, yo, bro, I'm doing okay, $1,500 a month or something around there. But I want to take this seriously. And I know you got a skill set that can help out because I like really studied the digital marketing side, came in and applied that. And then we just took it from, $1,500 a month to $1 million a month, like relatively quickly. Well, in that
So what happened there? Like what was that gap that you closed? Like what did you do differently than what he was doing?
They weren't doing any influencer marketing. They weren't doing any paid ads. They weren't doing any SEO, any content creation, like nothing. So
which one were you the most focused on?
I would say it was a split of all four, but the ones that were most lucrative was paid and influencer marketing. That was like the biggest push for us.
And how'd you guys go find influencers?
What we were doing back then was just thinking about who was, well, I feel like we did it in a creative way because we do something we call it indirect influencer marketing. So we don't go to the influencers, we go to the people that influence the influencers, because we were realizing like no one was responding to us because we were relatively new. So I was just like, well, what if we looked for, who's Chris Paul's stylist or who's, Jason Tatum's stylist, and we started to find all of the stylists and built, networks with them, and then we would just feed one person our merchandise and they would give it to everybody that was famous. So that's kind of how we, found most of our influencers. Other than that, simple ways, going on Instagram, looking at the suggested people, going to the people that the influencers actually follow, a few different ways like that.
Dope. And how did that go with the athletes and the celebrities? What ended up happening with them?
Oh, bro, it was a sick play that we ran, bro. So basically we got one. So we got Chris Paul because we found his stylist and she had like 10K followers.
This is when he was on the Clippers?
You knew he was on the Suns, I want to say.
Okay.
Maybe he was on the Clippers, just transitioning. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But she had 10K followers. We reached out to her. Clearly, she's going to see the message. Got him some stuff. And then from there, we took the picture of him wearing stuff and we just started DMing all the other athletes. Like, yo, Kevin Durant, like Chris Paul is like the NBA Players Association president. And he got our stuff. Like, you don't support this cause? And we just went down the list of everybody.
Wow.
And then slowly but surely started to get everyone. And then that turned into us going to the game NBA 2K and being like, yo, Jason Tatum, Chris Paul, Zion Williamson, like all these people are wearing us. Like, you guys should put us in the game. And then they actually ended up putting the merchandise in the game.
No way, bro.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy.
What was that process like?
It was actually very easy. Like,
really?
Yeah. It was crazy how easy it was, because all I did was Ronnie 2K, founder or whatever, went to his platform or Instagram, DM'd him. Obviously, he didn't get back. Got a lot of messages coming through. Went to everyone he was following using our same strategy. And then I found everyone that had NBA 2K in their bio. And then I DM'd everybody that worked at NBA 2K. And it was like 10 people that he was following. 2 of them got back out of the 10, and then one of them happened to go to a HBCU. And then he was like, I'm not the guy that can do it, but I know the guy that can. And then he introed us through email, and then a day later we were in the game.
Get the fuck out
of here. He was just like, yo, send like AI files and mock-ups and we'll put you in. And then they put us in, and then that was in January, and then they released it in February for like Black History Month, and then just rolled it all the way out. And then we just gave all of the stuff away for free instead of charging for it and like getting a royalty, because we figured if we can get as many people to wear it for free, it would be better marketing and advertising for us.
Yeah.
And then also, that just helps for like credibility, authority, and things of that nature.
That's sick, dude. And what give me like you said a few, like Zion, Jason Tatum, Chris Paul, like who else? I know some big names. Like these are people who are actually wearing it, right?
Yeah. Lil Baby, The Baby, Rick Ross, Tyga, like just literally a lot of
That's
people.
Insane,
and then,
dude.
And then when we landed the NBA 2K thing, we had a relationship with the NBA now. So then they were like, yo, this year's All-Star game is like HBCU inspired, because we're trying to like get more in the community, and we don't want to do it distastefully. You guys have the biggest HBCU audience. We want to do it with you. So then we actually made all of the merchandise for like the NBA All-Star game for like 2 years straight for the past 2 years.
Get the fuck out of here.
So like gifting all of the players, LeBron, Bradley Beal, Giannis, like everybody. So Giannis is wear our stuff too. So
the stuff they're wearing in the All-Stars, like they're like what exactly? Like the zip-ups and stuff? Or
so the pregame stuff is the pregame stuff, the gift baskets, and then also we designed a few things that they sold inside of the stores as well. So like when you go to wherever it was at, like Cleveland and other places, our stuff was in the store, like in the facility.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Actually fucking insane. What was the time from like your first... Like, obviously, you're not going to remember maybe the exact time, but, like, just rough estimate from the first message you sent to, like, an NBA stylist all the way to getting in 2K. How long was that?
I'd probably say, like, maybe 8 months.
That's it?
Yeah, because the way that we played it was we just provided so much value, bro. So this is the story. I'm gonna try to make it brief. We were like, yo, bro, Chris Paul's wearing a bunch of HBCU stuff. That's not ours. He obviously supports. Let's find the stylist. Found the stylist, got him to wear some stuff. Then once we kind of got in his camp situation, we realized that there were some holes in it, not in a bad way, but they were like, yo, we really want to do social media right, but we're not executing. Can you help us? So we just put our people like in their business a little bit to help them out with their social media. And then we became like really good friends with them. So then that led to Chris Paul being like, yo, I want you to make some stuff for the NBA Players Association. We were like, all right, cool, killed that. Then they were like, yo, we need to introduce you to the actual NBA. Then they introduced us. That turned into the All-Star game. And then so it was just a lead but the first way that we ever tried to get in front of him was we bought tickets to a game and went to the game and got tickets that were over the tunnel and then brought a backpack and tried to throw shit at him.
Way.
Yeah, but then we were like, when we were about like Corey, because Corey went, I didn't go that time. And he was like, I felt bad like about to throw it. So I just ended up not throwing it. And I was like, so that's kind of how that story went.
Dude, that's fucking crazy, bro. 8 months to do that, dude, is,
yeah.
I don't think people realize like, that shit like that's doable if you just fucking take the right shots. You know? You guys had a good strategy at the end of the day. You're not sitting there on your ass trying to DM Chris Paul all day.
Right.
You played your cards fucking right. That's sick. So is that where most of the sales came from in this brand? Was like the NBA hype?
No, I think it helped out a ton. But like I said, we got serious with influencers and we got serious with paid ads. And we also did a lot of like in-person events. And then we just put out a ton of content, bro. So we were posting 3 to 5 times a day organically and then amplifying all of our best content with paid ads. You know how it goes. And then just taking it serious with scaling it.
Were you running any like crazy offers or anything like that like stood out? Like, I know in the clothing space, there's sometimes offers that will run that just like smack. Yeah. Like you're like, man, if I ran this on any brand, it would work.
Honestly, like back then, we weren't running any crazy offers, to be honest. I feel like we had such like great social proof that it made it a lot easier. So it was like, you're running an ad of Chris Paul wearing something to Chris Paul's audience. It was like, all right, like, the ROAS was great on that. So it wasn't anything crazy, but we were doing regular stuff, top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel, retargeting. It wasn't anything too crazy.
Did you guys ever get into like legal trouble? Like doing that? Like flexing Chris Paul wearing your shirt without permission or things like that? I've seen a lot of lawsuits on shit like that happen.
Nah, it hasn't been bad. We always try our best to make sure that they were cool with it. But the people that we were, rocking with, like we actually were like in their business, like doing stuff with them. So it was never, I would never, if I had a picture of like the baby or something, if I didn't know him like that, I wasn't gonna like go run ads to it because I just didn't know them. It's just, that's weird in general. So we never had those issues.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because I've seen so many like lawsuits happen when like someone runs a photo of 50 Cent wearing something, makes a fuck ton of money, then 50 sues them for like tens of millions of dollars. Like it's some crazy shit.
You know how 50 is too. He gonna
50's petty as fuck. Dude.
He leaving here with something for sure.
That's funny. So then you exited when? And what did that look like? You didn't sell it to someone else, right?
Yeah, no. So I sold it to my partner. So, and we can't talk too much about it in general because of whatever. But yeah, sold it to him. And then now moving into teaching people how to get into the space. And the real reason that I kind of like maneuvered out was I started to feel like, I can impact a lot of people with what we were doing. It was a great cause-based message, but it kind of felt like an exchange of like, you're giving me money, I'm giving you like cotton, like hoodies. Whereas if I can just teach someone how to do what we were doing, then I can teach one person how to impact millions how we did. And I felt like I had a lot more impact in that way. So I was like, all right, let me do this and be successful in it. And successful is relative, of course, but do it and be successful and then start talking about it and teaching it. So I literally went from, and we'll talk about that later, I assume, like from nothing on social media, like maybe 40, 50K to starting to teach all of this stuff. And now just cross 700,000 followers, just like giving all of the information away for free because I now have time to focus on it full time.
Yeah. And I was at a conference, I forgot which one, but maybe like 6 months ago or so. And someone was like, fuck Justin, because Justin just gives the game for free, so I got nothing else to sell anymore. So he just gave all that shit for free. I forgot what the situation was.
It sounded like something Josh Chris was saying.
It was Josh Chris. Okay. Yeah, it was Josh Chris. Yeah, he's like, man, fuck that shit. I can't even sell shit anymore because you're just giving it for free, bro. You gotta chill.
That's so funny. That's my boy, man.
Yeah, whatever you're doing on social media is working, though. I mean, we can jump into that and then get into the coaching stuff. Like, there's no order we need to follow, but this 700K, you did do like, do you do giveaways? You do like, what'd you do to get that set up?
It was a combination of ads as well as just good organic content. So being honest, when I look at the analytics, 35% of the growth came from paid ads. So there definitely was a paid ads aspect.
35%.
Yeah, and then the other 65.
Tell me how you did that, bro, because that's a chunk of change right there.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it was just we're spending so much leading to like our webinar and our course offer that you get to spend in 5-7K a day or whatever it is. You're gonna gain some followers doing it. So I thought that when I was going to look at it, it'd be like flipped, like 80% from ads, 20% from organic, but it was 65 from organic, 35 from paid ads. And that's kind of, just running our regular offer, just getting followers, because the content that we're using for the paid ads is the content that I'm posting on my Instagram, which is already organic, viral style content. And then we're just putting a call to action at the end to register for whatever we got going on.
Pretty much all your content is green screen stuff right now, right? Like where you just put up an image behind you.
Yep, and podcast clips. So. Yeah.
And podcast clips, do those do better than the other stuff? I feel like the other stuff does better for you.
I think the other stuff has more viral ability, but the podcast stuff kind of puts a face to the name and the brand and whatnot. But
makes sense, like a character to it.
Exactly.
Because it's no personality.
Yeah, you just point in, they see my face, but they don't know anything about me.
Exactly, yeah. You're just the dude who looks high pointing at the
literally
at the clothing brand stuff.
Literally.
But it works. I mean, those videos pop though, bro. You have what? Yeah, I was going through your profile earlier. I was even scrolling through, not even like the pin stuff at the top, like deep in there, and I was like 2 million, 3 million, 1 million, 4 million. I was like, damn, dude, these are just like regular as lost videos in here. They're just millions of views.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I just figured out the strategy, and then when I figured it out once, I just quadrupled down on it. That was really it.
I mean, people try to copy it for sure.
Oh yeah,
like we have clients even that some of their best videos are manufacturer stuff, just like you did.
Oh, well, that's dope.
Yeah. So you definitely started like a trend or a movement of some sort.
Look, and all we can do is try to elevate after and just keep innovating. So it's smooth.
And from your core stuff, like, how much success do you attribute to the webinar? To the organic efforts versus like ads? Because I know, like we're mainly on the ad side. We're not on the organic side. So like we'll spend millions of dollars a week in paid ads for courses, but we don't do the organic side. If I had someone who was like pulling organic weight like you were, just as an example in my head, like I couldn't imagine what those numbers look like because I only run the ads and most of these guys suck at organic.
Right. Frankly. Yeah. So I'm actually more ads heavy than a lot of people think, because like I came from that world where like my first job that I ever had was like running ads for a company. So I'm decently heavy in that, but I would say that the success of the business, I'd probably attribute arguably like 75 to 80% to ads. The organic just like helps, because I feel like even in info product space, and I'm curious of your opinion, you have to like kind of do all of it. So it's like you can rely on paid ads, but when you have the organic, when you have the Instagram shout out pages, when you do the in-person events, the podcast, it just amplifies everything. So moral of the story, 75% maybe I feel like relies on paid ads, and then the other organic stuff just really amplifies.
Okay, and you said IG shoutouts. Do you do a lot of those right now?
Yeah, no, we spent probably in the last month maybe 10K. And
I mean, that's a good chunk, dude, in a month.
Yeah, so we
10K, like break that down for me, because this is like, I think a lot of people listening, including myself, I'm curious, like 10K.
Yeah.
How many pages did you post on for 10K?
Just one, bro.
One page.
Yeah, I just bought bulk from one page.
Okay.
Because I was just like, bro, I don't want to, and I will sooner or later get a shout out manager, go test all the pages. You know how that goes.
Yeah, it's a whole mission on its own.
Literally. So for now, I'm just like, what are the best pages? Strike a bulk deal with them, and then just post on them as much as possible and just see how it goes. So I just took the best performing regular content from my page and then just put it on the biggest pages that I could find that had the best engagement for the price point. So I use a page called Hollywood Unlocked.
Okay.
So
so those $10,000, how many posts did you get?
20
posts.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, and do you know the following that you got from those posts? Do you guys try to track that at all?
Yeah, I take like screenshots and shit. I mean, on average, you're gaining. I always do like cost per follower. So it's about like anywhere from like a good post 20 cents to $1 per follower. But I just feel like that's only attributed to the style of content, because most people aren't getting those types of numbers, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so you would consider $1 a follower good?
Yeah.
So if you spent 10 G's, you got 10,000 followers.
I'd be piped up. Like,
yeah, same.
But honestly, I gained way more than that. Like I was gaining like, when I was really getting after it with the shout out pages, I was gaining like 10K a day in followers.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's also in combination with ads and organic and all of those things.
No, of course. Yeah, no, I get everything. Like you said, dude, you got to kind of do it all. But the IG shout out thing is not, you're not the first person that said it. And I know a lot of people who their entire business depends on IG shout outs.
Yeah, and
honestly.
setters and shit, yeah.
Exactly. And it's different because, like, you know, when I want to say like 2-3 years ago, I did like those giveaway shout outs. Like, I'm giving away a car. They don't do shit, dude. Because, like, I'll pay 10 G's, let's say, example. I'll get 20,000 followers, example. But then, like, 16,000 will leave over the next 6 months.
And then they don't care about you, right?
Exactly. Because they're just clicking a list of people. Whereas in your case, they're actually following you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've done some of the giveaway stuff like earlier in my like Instagram growth journey, but I kind of tried my best to maximize it. So I'll just be like, once they do the shout out, I go live. So then you get a bunch of people to come into the live. Then I sell some shit at the end of the live to try to recoup some of the money back. I then do an overnight post as well, just selling some low ticket shit to try to recoup some money back as well. So. And then you can even do like on your own story posts, like do your own giveaway as well. Like, yo, I know that y'all came from this giveaway, but I'm doing a giveaway of X, Y, and Z if you go do X, Y, and Z.
That's what I used to do.
Just trying my best to maximize.
I used to like have like preset stories.
Yeah.
And I would like film those ahead of time and have them ready and queued. And then essentially when the giveaway would go, I'd launch the story so that I'd be at the top with those specific stories. Yeah. And then I did that giveaway stuff too. Like I'd be like, I'm giving away like $500 to whoever does this, and then I'll just like recapture that engagement again. Yeah. But it was still like,
it's not
shit.
Worth it.
Yeah, it's still shit engagement because like they just want the free giveaway shit.
Right.
At the end, they don't care about your content. They don't care about all this. Exactly. And I didn't even care about the cost. Honestly, I cared about the following, but I wanted it to be good following. Like I would be very particular. Like it needs to be a U.S. male primarily page or business or whatever it is. You know, like Kevin Hart. I was like, you know, I'm game for Kevin Hart. He's someone I fuck with. Like someone else, I did another one with someone who's like in the business world. I forgot, like, you know, example, like Kevin O'Leary type shit, right? Yeah. Like I was like, cool, down with that. Yeah. But still, like over the years, I've seen, let's say I got 35, 40,000 followers from those. I've watched, you know, 90% of them leave. Yeah. My following's gone up maybe like 20,000, let's say. But it's actually gone up like 40, 50,000 because those people are leaving and then like new people are essentially like taking their place that are actually organic people.
And they just don't give a fuck about, you know, what you got going on in general. Like, and then they don't engage. Those are like giveaway engagers. So if you post a giveaway on your page, maybe they'll engage. But other than that, it's the same thing I see with people when they're doing like Instagram shout outs in general, where they're running a bunch of money and wealth and then they got like 100 to 300K followers, but they're getting like 15 likes on everything. And like one thing for them too, just in case they're like anyone's listening, I just be like, bro, change your content to look like the Instagram shout out pages that you're on. And like one of my homies did that. He was getting like a couple hundred likes, but he had hundreds of thousands of followers and he's running wealth all day long, making money from it because he has setters. And then I was like, bro, just make your content look like wealth content, but you put your face on it. And then when he did that and made that switch, he started getting 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes because that's what they want to see anyways.
Yeah, that's why they're on the page.
That's something that helped him out. And Josh started doing that too. It's been killing it for him.
So basically just catering the content on the page that you're going to. Yeah, because not just taking your best shit.
Yeah, you're taking their followers and they've already followed wealth. Might as well make your shit look like the page that you're running all day long.
And what's a good way, like let's say I wanted to get into it right now and I wanted to go and start doing IG shout outs for my course, example.
Yeah.
What's how should I approach this? Like what would be a good starting point?
I would say just take some of your, well, what I do is, let's just say like Hollywood Unlocked, for example. Now this is more so for like, I'd say like people of color, like African-American audience, because that's their audience in general. But I literally just make content that looks exactly like their content. And then I'm just like, and then I take there's two things. You either make content that looks exactly like their content and then have them run that, or you buy branded posts from them so that it actually looks like they posted it and not some like fuckface just trying to run an ad on an account. So if you're trying to like sell your course or whatever, it depends on how you're selling it because there's so many different mechanisms, whether you have IG shoutouts and setters or you got a webinar or whatever. Moral of the story.
Let's just say I have a webinar.
Yeah, if you got a webinar, then I just say, they'll do those two things, and your goal is just to get as many people to come to your account in general, and then make sure that you're posting content to get them to come to the webinar. You got your stories loaded up, and that's the biggest piece.
So branded posts is pretty much all you do.
Yeah, branded posts with them, and then just like my most viral content, but also like making sure that you have context, because I know that on a Hollywood Unlocked, Kim K or something is going to do really well, or like, you know, Blueface and Krishan Rock or whatever. So I'll make content like specifically to them, and I'll create content custom for those pages.
Like Kim K's supplier and
exactly,
shit like that.
Bro, that post got like 90K likes on Hollywood Unlocked. And
that's
then
fucking crazy.
I gained, like,
on their account.
On their account. So then I gained like 10K from that one post alone.
Yeah.
And then now,
and I'm sure they're like happy with it too. They're like, we're getting sick engagement. This guy's making the content for us and paying us.
Exactly.
Like,
so then you can negotiate great prices, you know, so that works. So and then obviously when you got the webinar situation, your goal is, especially if you're running paid ads, get as many people to your page so that you can retarget them, because your lead cost is going to go drastically down. So if you're doing organic content, ads, and then you're getting tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people to just come hit your page, your retargeting cost is, or your cost per lead is going to go down crazy.
Yeah, and honestly, like something that people don't talk about is like, because you can't measure it, is when you're running ads, and basically, let me phrase it this way: when you're running ads and people are engaging with your ads or seeing your content, whether it's an IG shout out, whether it's actual paid ads, whatever, paid marketing in general online, people will go to your page sometimes before they click the button on the ad to see who the fuck this is running the ad.
Yep.
And if they see millions of views, if they see, I mean, even if you don't have millions of views, if they just see like good content consistently, it's like justification that this person's real. It's like its own blue check in a way, right? It's like, this dude's actually posting content. He's on top of his shit. He's not selling some outdated guru shit. Okay, let me go see what this thing was in the ad. Yeah. I think that helps a lot too. And I think like even me working with accounts, dude, I could take an account that's doesn't have a lot of content posted organically and I can make him money, but I might make him a 1.5, 2x.
Right.
Someone posts organically and looks like they're a real person all the time, and I might make them a 5, 6x just because of that change. You know,
I agree. And then because the way that I thought about it was, it also helps for like LTV with the customer too, like even in your back end offers, because think about the message that you're communicating when you're consistent. I post every single day and I do not miss every single day, and I give value every single day. And then the people in your back end high ticket programs are like, yo, if he's posting like this information for free on the daily basis, I can only imagine the level of accountability and the level of how much he's going to show up for me that he's going to do in the high ticket programs.
Yeah. So what's your play? Is it a Sunday webinar? What do you do?
I do Thursdays.
You do Thursdays?
Yeah.
Have you tested different days?
I'm simple. Russell Brunson came out one day and said, bro, I've spent tens of millions of dollars. Thursday's the best day. And I was like, cool. And I just ran Thursdays. So I do Thursdays live at 8 p.m. And then on Sundays, we do a encore. And I'll show up for like 5 minutes and be like, hey, where's everybody checking in from? Cool. I did a training last Thursday. It was outstanding. I don't want to fuck it up. So I'm just going to press play on it. And then I'll come back to do some Q&A after. And then, you know, you do well there too.
Okay. So you tell them that it's a replay.
Yeah. And then like even in the webinars too, I tell them I'm going to sell them something too. So I feel like that's just, you know, most people aren't that direct. So I'm just like, hey, I have 2 agendas for today. Number 1 agenda is to give you the 3 secrets to scale your 7-figure ecom empire. And my second agenda, to be honest with you, is to sell you something. But if I don't deliver on that first promise, don't buy anything from me. But if I do, by some small miracle, I'm able to do so, then you should feel obligated to purchasing something from me if it's a good fit for you and if you enjoy my teaching style. Is that fair? Do we have a deal? Give me a 1 in chat for yes. And if not, I can stop right now because I don't need this. But if, you know, this information could possibly change your life. It already changed mine, but you let me know if you want me to move forward. And I kind of do it that way.
And you make them give you the ones in the chat for that. Yeah. Like, all right, guys, I'm not gonna give you the game unless I get some yes.
I will stop right now. Like my girl was in town last week. I'm like, bro, my girl is in the other room right now, dying to watch Netflix and eat ice cream. I will leave right now if y'all don't want me to move forward. I promise you, I'm straight. I'm like,
have you ever actually left or no?
Nah, they always want the game.
Yeah, of course. That's why they showed up. Right. So you do a Thursday webinar. Walk me through the game here. Pretend I'm dumb. Like, I don't know shit.
Yeah, sure. So Thursday webinar, 4 pieces to a good webinar: intro, content, transition, close. Intro is credibility, authority, recent results, testimonials. Content is 3 pieces or 3 secrets to get them the information that they need. You got to put them in the right vehicle, got to get them to believe that they can do it internally, and then get them to believe that there's nothing else stopping them externally. And then the transition, which people are iffy with, is just transitioning into the close. So the way I do it is like, hey, you know, I just gave you all of the game. You can go and run this play by yourself and you can crush it. You don't need me. But that's if you're someone that has more time than money. So if you got more time than money, by all means, go run the play. That's an admirable pursuit. Took me 12 years to get here. It might take you some bumps and bruises, but more power to you. You got the game. Or if you're somebody that has more money than time and you want to work with me and my team more closely to skip those bumps and bruises and probably do what you can do in 12 years and maybe 12 months, then, let me ask you this. Did I deliver on my promise today? Like, did I give you the 3 steps or the 3 secrets? Do I have your permission to sell you something or to show you something that I know is your best bet to be successful in the e-commerce industry? But you have to truly believe in your product to, say that. And then now I'm not selling from a place of not having the permission and being like, oh, bait and switched you. And it's like, no, I told you at the beginning. And now I'm telling you too, like, you can go do this without me. You just got to give me your permission if you want to do it with me. And then lastly, you have the closes, because all of the steps are emotional, but then you have to justify an emotional decision with logic. If you buy a Ferrari, you're going to tell your wife, like, in your head, you're like, bro, I wanted to drive it since I was little and I wanted to like flex and whatever. But then you're going to be like, yeah, babe, I promise it gets like 20 miles per gallon. Like, it's a great whatever. Like, you're going to justify it. Yeah. So, you have to just do that at the end.
I don't know if that's how I would justify it.
Right? You're going to try your best.
If my babe sit in the passenger seat, you'll get it. You'll understand.
So, that's pretty much the whole situation. And then we just invite them to, jump into our course program. And then from there, we ascend some people to the back end that want to.
What does that look like?
Yeah. So one thing that's been cool with the webinars that I don't see a lot of people share is that usually what people do is they go order form, OTO1, one-time offer, OTO2, and then like confirmation page with like maybe a book a call on confirmation. We switched it so it's like order form and then book a call right after. So it feels like you need to book a call to be able to finish and get to your to the like receipt or whatever. So we just be like on the second page, it's like, wait, book your strategy call with Justin and his team. And then at the bottom, it's like, no, I don't want help from Justin and his team. And it has a Calendly link for our closers. So we structure it kind of like a customer support call. So when they book it, it's a strategy call, making sure, number one, that they got all of their credentials. So it saves us from a bunch of chargebacks too, where it's like, all right, you getting on the call. Hey, did you get into Kajabi? Did you get everything? Wait, how was the training? Were you good? And then, hey, would you like to like work with Justin more closely? Because by that time you realize a lot of people don't even jump into the programs and stuff. So it's been 2 or 3 days. Like we see it's been 2 or 3 days. You haven't jumped in. Do you need a little bit more assistance from Justin and his team to get this done and get it across the line? So you structure it as a support call, but it's really a sales call, but you truly actually want to help. And then, that has that's helped us to get people booked for the back end. And the back end, like you're asking, is like a $6K offer to, just more accountability, more coaching.
Well, what's in there? Give me details.
4 coaching calls a week. One of them is done by me, and I just like to do it to stay fingers on the pulse of the industry. Monday accountability call, Wednesday call with me, and Friday is a call with like my Shopify team just to make sure that you're all good. We build a website for you and we coach you along the way on how to do it, Discord community, and obviously our course program more in detail.
Okay, yeah, I love that because we run a similar play.
Okay,
we do in a lot of our offers we'll do like webinar, offer
live or automated,
both.
Oh, okay,
yeah. One-time offer, and then if they say no, we split pay that same one-time offer.
Yeah.
If they say yes, we just take them to the next one. Regardless, they're going to the next one. So
right.
No matter if they decline the split pay, they're going to the second one anyways. And then now basically what we're doing is on the thank you page and in the thank you email where do you give coaching for your normal program?
No
calls?
Do it yourself now.
Yeah. Fully. Okay, cool. So for us, we do like one coaching call a week, for example, as a group. And we require them to get on that call to get access to the coaching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like you can't even get access to the coaching unless you get on this goal setting strategy, whatever you want to call it, call.
Right.
And it's a very similar layout. Have you seen any trouble like with the sales team being able to close people because they're not expecting to get closed on something?
No, it's always more so people like, oh, I just bought this thing. Like, let me try this first before I try to upgrade. Other than that, it hasn't been many issues.
Okay, yeah. No, they're not having trouble like moving people up because they don't expect that it's a sales call.
Yeah, no. It hasn't been an issue for us.
That's dope. And then it's cool because like you see so many different ways to do it. Like you put it before the one-time offer. We do it after. Josh Crisp, he does like a week of like training and then insane. Says like, hey,
yeah,
here's the this is the offer now if you want to get in. It's cool to see that, but like transparently here, and I don't know how much you don't want to share, but like I see a lot of people in the space who are like basically the goal is let's just like break even on the front. Mm-hmm. Like if we spend $200K in ads, We just need to make $210K, for example,
Right.
On the webinar, and then we'll make the rest of the money on the sales team. Is that how you operate? How do you operate?
I try my best to be profitable on the front end. I'm actually like really, I'm not mad, but I'm upset if we don't profit at least on the front end at all. But
like what multiple are you looking for?
Like maybe 1.5-ish, 1 point. Usually it's around 1.75 to be honest with you. But you know, when in the industry where most people aren't profiting at all on the front end and they're just trying to break even or lose money, like that, it's just refreshing to be able to do.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I have some offers that don't even have a back end, and we're profiting like 3 to 6x on the front end.
That's crazy.
On like 6 figures a week of spend.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm like, this is fucking insane. But then I look at other offers and I'm like, that I'm running, and I'm like, dude, I cannot get it above a 1.3, 1.4 on the front end at scale to save my life.
Is there any differentiator that you see, like those offers that do a 3, 6x? Are those VSL? Are those webinars? Or like?
Oh, I'm comparing webinar to webinar.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd say the only difference is price point. So the offers that don't have a back end are pricing higher, like 3K, let's say.
Right.
Whereas the ones that do have a back end are down to price at like $1,000 or $1,500 and then sell on the back end.
Right.
Because they just want more quantity of sales calls essentially for $1,500.
Right.
So that's really the main difference. So right now, because I've cracked that 3K price point on a webinar to cold at like, let's call it a 3 to 6x depending on the week.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Live or automated there?
Automated.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, automated. And we're spending a few $100,000 a week on it. So like it's good. Now I'm adding the back end. Yeah. So now I'm like, dude, God. this is gonna like,
that's disgusting.
2x the entire company, probably
man.
Just net profit at that point. So
yeah, you know, we don't have to do that right now, but at some point that play must be broken down. There won't be any gatekeeping allowed on this podcast. So
hey, I mean, I already, bro, I'll share everything with you, bro. I got no problems, man. Yeah, but that's sick. So what's the goal here with this coaching program? I know you just started taking it seriously like 6 months ago.
Yeah. So the goal
you've been doing it for a while. You've been giving game out for a while, but you haven't been like all in on coaching, right?
Yeah, the goal honestly is to turn it more into like a academy type of situation, so that it has some level of enterprise value, and just continue coaching, and then making it to where someone can come into my ecosystem and get everything that they need as far as e-commerce in general. So physical products, and then obviously we do digital products, and then just continuously scaling from there, but building it as an academy rather than a personal brand, so that it can actually exit sometime in the future.
Sick, yeah, dude. You got a really sharp mind. Honestly, I'm surprised. This is the first time we've like sat down and like chatted it up. But like a lot of the things that you're sharing are, they take a very clever individual to come up with that. Even like talking to Chris Paul's stylist, you know what I mean? Like little things like that go a long way. It takes like someone with some very like witty brain power. Like in those years from like 2013 to 18, when your friend had the business and you weren't really involved, like you said you were dabbling in digital marketing. What were you doing exactly there?
Yeah, so
you've definitely built some experience up.
Yeah, no, and first of all, I appreciate that compliment as well. But I graduated in 2016, and when I graduated, I was super depressed, bro, because like I was very popular on campus. Like I threw all of the parties. I was making like 5, 10, 15K a month from just throwing parties. But when I graduated, I didn't have I didn't have a job. I didn't have an internship. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a house. I had all of these followers on social media, but like nothing that you would think a graduate would have. And then I was just like, damn, bro, I got to do something. So I used that expertise from like throwing parties and whatnot. And then I went to apply at a bunch of jobs because I moved back home with my mom. And then I was like, yo, I know how to get like tens of thousands of people to like see your stuff and like get people to show up to things. I think that this can work for a brand or a business. And this one scale company like hired me, like a weight scale that you stand on top of. And and I was running ads for them, and they were Amazon. Like I didn't know what FBA was back then, but they were printing like, bro, they were doing like probably $1 mil, $2 mil a month back then. I didn't know, but they couldn't figure out branding, like Instagram, growing your Instagram, Facebook. And I come from like the black market, like Instagram world, buying and selling handles and like you know, Snapchat views and shit. So I just was like, yo, you can buy a theme page and then use that theme page to like promote your brand. So I was doing all of that for them, and then that kind of turned into like, you know, just what we were like, that was what I was on back then for them. And I was like, all right, they gave me a PayPal. This is so funny to think of now. They gave me a PayPal account to like buy and sell Instagram accounts for them to grow their business. And then I was like, well, I mean, I don't think they would be mad if like I invested a little bit of the money that they had in this, in this PayPal account to like learn more to help their business out. Yeah. So I bought like Ty Lopez's program. I bought Adrian Morris's program. I was just buying a bunch of stuff and then learning it all. So I think that's where like that side of in like 2016, I was like, I knew what Facebook ads were and, all of these things. So took that knowledge and then obviously caught the entrepreneurship bug where it's like, I'm doing all of this shit for them. I could easily be doing this for myself. So I kind of slowly weaned myself off of the job and was like, can I work from home one day? Pay me less. Can I work from home 2 days? Pay me less. And then I was building up clients that I was building their Instagram accounts for them on the side. And when I got to like $1,000 a month in like recurring revenue, that was enough for me to pay my rent because I had like my rent was $700 and I was living with 5 people. So my family came and lived with me because they were like having issues at their home. So we split the rent up. So I was paying rent and food probably $400 out of pocket monthly, but my job was paying me $4K a month. So I was stacking up crazy. And then I slowly weaned myself off of the job. And then I was like, I had $26K saved up from when I was working the job. I put $16K into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin in 2017. Turned out to be a decent investment. And then the other $10K, I had to invest in the clothing business. My boy called me. He's like, I got $20K in inventory. Send me $10K and we're business partners 50-50 and let's crush this shit. I know you got the experience now. You got more time. And I was like, cool. Wired him $10K. I had 2 pennies left in my bank account after that. I had rent I didn't know I was going to pay, how I was going to eat or anything. Yeah. And then that was the start of it all. So that's kind of where all of the experience came from. And then just a little bit more of the story as well.
Would you recommend someone who's trying to get into the game? Obviously, there's your course, all these other things, but would you recommend them working for another company in the same space before they go and try to start their own?
I think that that's a good option. For someone that's more entrepreneurial, it's probably not going to work out really long. I just recommend that you get the information that you need from wherever you can. Some people get it from a job. Some people get it from books. Some people get it from free info online. My story was getting it from a job a little bit and then transitioning into get it from paid information as well as free information online. So once I transitioned, I was like, all right, I'm out of this job, but I still need to continue to get education. So my strategy and what I even tell people too is like, you need a coach, you need a mentor, like you need a guide. I don't care if it's free or paid, but you need it. That's how you're going to get the information. So I always tell people it doesn't have to be me. Just go out there and get free information from a vetted source. Like make sure that they've done what you want to do. They're coming back with the information that you need and look at their free information and apply it. And if you make some money with them, then maybe spend some money with them. Because that's what I did. Got information from this kid on YouTube, bought a $100 coaching call. And then that $100 coaching call turned into, $1,000 course, then a 25, then 5K, then 30K, and then 25K, et cetera, that we're investing in now. And I just always ask myself, because new entrepreneurs are always asking what's the cost and what's the price of the mentorship? And I always ask myself a different question where I'm like, what does it cost you not to do it? Because if I didn't do that $100 coaching call in the beginning, it would have cost me everything I have today. So that's kind of how I look at it now. You need the information, get it wherever you can, whether you got to pay or get it for free. And if you don't got money, you can work a job and learn it. Or you can go on free YouTube or something and learn it, but you just need the information in general.
Yeah, look, I'm a big believer in spending money to learn from other people. I probably spend, even when I was still living in my parents' basement and at home, I knew I didn't have rent to contribute, right? So I basically took every single dollar that I made above living expenses of food, gas, insurance, shit like that. And just spend it on buying more courses and more products. I probably have every single person's course in the fucking world who sells online marketing and shit like that. And at this point, I don't have the time to watch all of them anymore. But I still buy them all for my team. So I'll buy all of them and then give my team the login to go in and learn whatever they need to because they're the ones executing on a day-to-day basis. But if I didn't spend at this point hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on courses and masterminds and shit like that, I would definitely not be where I'm at today. Oh, yeah. And it's probably the best investment. And it's funny, the other day, I had a friend ask me, he was like, hey man, if I have $30,000 saved up, what's the best way to invest it and double it? And I just pointed at his head. I was like, right here, bro. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm talking stocks and crypto or real estate. Where do you? I was like, no, right here. Cause you put that 30 here, you make another 300.
Yeah.
you're not going to go do that in stock or in real estate right now.
Bro, I say that even on the webinars all the time at the end. I'm like, bro, let's be logical about this, like for real. If you take this money and you go and do something with it, stock market might get you a 10% return, maybe, on a good year. Real estate, 7% return, maybe. But if you invest it in yourself, then you can triple your earning potential by just investing this amount of money in yourself. And that's going to far outperform any other investment that's, typical or traditional. So I agree with you, bro. I think that, people should just invest in their information, because especially in our world where, people of color, especially, unfortunately, they spend more money on their body rather than in their body. So I'm just like, when I first got started, I sold all of my Balenciaga, Margielas, everything. And I was like, bro, I got so much money on my body, but nothing in it. And then I started to invest in these programs and stuff. But I agree with you. The best way to do it is to invest in yourself to maximize your earning potential so that you can have excess money to invest in all these traditional ways. And that's how I did it.
That's sick. And students, how are they doing?
Oh,
yeah. Seen some success stories
bro,
already?
Crushing it, bro.
Do you have them find their own products, or do you help them find that?
Usually they have their own, to be honest, but they just don't have a brand, and they want to build a strong brand, because that's our thing. I'm like, yo, yeah, you can drop ship and sell some fucking fidget spinners, but guess what happens when the trend dies? Your business does too. So for us, it's more so about building a solid brand around whatever the fuck you do. So but some great success stories of students with clothing brands, skincare, whatever the fuck, and not having to spend any money in ads, because we teach them how viral content style, what we do. So we teach them how to go viral and not have any cost in ads, and then once they get viral content, how to put ads on top of that, and that's kind of our strategy.
Sick. Exactly what you've done, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's you should consider adding an option to find a product.
Okay.
Because I see I have hands in a lot of businesses.
Right.
The ones who are we'll help you find a product that could be good, they'll do more sales, because there's a huge portion of people in the audience who their objection is, I don't know what to sell. And they just charge more for those people. Instead of charging 4, you could charge 7, 8, for example, whatever the case is. But we'll do the research and we'll find you the product to sell. Dude, if you get 20 people extra a month to pay that difference, that's another $100K a month. And you're probably helping more people too, because these guys may not have gotten started because they don't know what product to sell or anything like that. Obviously, it's harder doing it done for you in that sense. It's kind of has its own headaches, but something worth considering.
I agree, and I appreciate the suggestion. I'm an open book, and I'm down to learn anything. So I was thinking about this the other day, because I was like, I know that there's probably software that I can get access to, my boy Jordan Welch has Viral Vault and just random shit like that, or have a VA make an Excel sheet that's constantly updated with products. Yo, we'll cherry pick the best for you, and that's something I've been thinking about. So you saying that is some good confirmation.
Yeah, and you could do it with a VA, like you're saying, dude. You could have certain KPIs, it has to have this many sales, this whatever, XYZ quality, etc., this much shipping time.
Yeah.
And you could probably do a pretty good job helping these people.
I agree. I
dish
appreciate
that out.
it.
And that'd be a fire bonus, bro. Your close rate might go up 50%. You'd be surprised.
Look, hey, you can catch me next week on the webinar.
Even if you don't do it for them, if you just give them this sheet that's on rotation.
Exactly.
People will be like, okay, now he's telling me what I should sell. Easier purchase. Because if I had $1,500, but I just was okay, I don't have anything to sell.
Yeah,
I can't buy technically.
No,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a rule, information and execution rule. The same amount of time that you spend studying is the same amount of time you should spend executing. So right now we're doing a little bit of studying back and forth. We spend an hour. Right after this, an hour is going into execution on what we talked about
crazy,
today.
Bro. I love that, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. I think this was super valuable. This was packed with info.
I appreciate it, brother.
What's the best place for people to connect with you? What's the best place for people to learn more about you if they want to go watch one of your free trainings and get in on the game? What's the best place to find you?
Best place to find me, Instagram at Justin P, and then my TikTok is Ecom Justin P. So pretty much anything Justin P on all platforms. So
easy enough.
Yep.
Cool, dude. I appreciate you getting on the show, man. And before we get off, last thing, I asked this to everyone on the show. If you had to give fortune cookie advice, how old are you?
28.
28. Okay, cool. We're the same age.
Oh,
I just turned 29, so pretty much the same age. If you had to give advice to someone maybe in that 5 to 6 year range, younger than you, life advice, one piece of advice. It doesn't have to be a sentence that technically fits in a fortune cookie or some shit, but just something. What would it be that you would pass on to your younger self to kind of make that future brighter?
First thing that comes to mind is change your environment as fast as possible. And the reason I say that is because their environment is going to be what crafts you. And that's not just your digital environment, that's also your physical environment as well as your digital environment. So like cutting out all the bullshit that you're consuming online, there's a reason why they call it, consuming content. You are what you eat. So removing that out of your life and then also putting yourself in an environment for growth. And that was one of the biggest keys that helped me start on this journey. So I guess I'd say that for starters.
Love that. I mean, that's fucking fire. That's all it needs, baby.
There we go.
Thank you so much, Justin, for jumping on the show. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks so much for watching another episode of the Bad Marketing Podcast. I hope you got immense value from it. And if you did, all we ask of you is that you share this with a friend that you think could find this very valuable. And depending on the platform that you're watching or listening to this on, please like, subscribe, or rate the podcast as best as possible. It really means a lot to us. We pour so much money, time, and effort into getting these guests here, filming all this, editing it, all for free just to give you free value. And all we ask in return is that you just share this with people. You give it a positive review so that we can continue to reach more people and impact more lives with all this effort that we're putting in. With that being said, thanks so much for tuning into the episode, and I look forward to continue to provide you more valuable content moving forward on the Bad Marketing Podcast. Make sure you subscribe.